I remember when I was first getting into subliminals, I would listen to like 10 a day, and they would all be like, oh, you can just listen to this one time and blah, blah, blah. And they'd all be different, and I wouldn't be consistent and expect all of my desires to manifest. Like, please. I was listening to like, what? Like, abundance subliminals, wealth subliminals, beauty subliminals, subliminals that make other people do things for you, which is a scam, by the way, and we'll get into that later.
Editing Joe here. We did not get into that at all. So sorry. But here's basically why it doesn't work. It doesn't work because subliminal audios like actually target like your subconscious mind. And so if you are listening to a subliminal that's like, oh, this person loves me or whatever, you're just convincing yourself of that, and they're not like that's not working. So unless like you like force them to listen to the subliminal that you like is targeted towards, like they're tracking towards you or like whatever, it's not going to work, because it doesn't work that way unless like and also that's unethical, unless they consent. So make sure that they consent if you're going to do that. Otherwise, don't do that at all. So that's why it doesn't work. But there is a law of attraction still out there, so that will work in your favor. That's what you're trying to do. But don't use subliminals for that.
And it wasn't until I started actually using them correctly and then making my own, which got me the results that I was wanting to see in my life. Hi guys, it's Joe. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm a spiritual advisor and I help people fulfill their purpose and live their dream lives. Now, I'm sure you know by now that this video is all about subliminals, how they work, why I make them, and why I use them, and how you're probably using them wrong. But before we get started, if you like videos revolving around spirituality, manifestation, or even wellness and lifestyle, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'm trying to reach a goal of 500 subscribers, and if you subscribe and like this video, it will definitely help me reach that goal. Thank you so much for helping me out, and let's get into it. Subliminal audios are hidden auditory messages that can be acknowledged and perceived without actually being processed by your conscious brain. These messages are suggestions that will literally like hook onto your subconscious mind and influence your thoughts and behaviors. Basically, it's a little whisper that helps your brain to do something or consider things as true. Now, like every tool on the face of planet Earth, there are good and bad uses, but the tool will consistently remain neutral. It's all about how you use them, which determines whether or not they are bad or good. Now, bad uses include basically using these for like basically other people. Like if you're trying to manipulate someone into doing something for you or thinking a certain way or blah, 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 or basically just, you know, having them listen to subliminal audios without their consent. That's a bad use. You shouldn't do that. That is very, very unethical. Now, a good use would be to use them on yourself to help correct thought patterns and behaviors, or to increase and strengthen manifesting capabilities, and basically just to improve your life, well-being, and mindset. Keep in mind that subliminal audios cannot alter your core values or override your conscious intentions. So they are generally safe to use. And that's a huge concern for other people whenever they get into subliminals and stuff. It's very important to make sure that we as a community feel safe and that we are doing everything within our power to be as ethical as possible. And I want to let you all know that you cannot, with subliminals, you cannot compromise your core values, you cannot compromise your morals, whatever you actually truly stand by, and whatever is hardwired in your brain, like hardwired in your brain, cannot be altered. So there we go. Now that that's out of the way, how do they work? Again, subliminals work by bypassing your conscious mind and speaking suggestions directly into your subconscious mind. However, it does not work and will never work on your first time listening. And whoever says, whatever video you click on, whatever like creator is like, oh, just use this one time and it's like so powerful it'll work, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. Now, immediate change can happen between 15 and 20 minutes, but there won't be any permanent change because although your targeted neural pathways are firing, they aren't wiring together in the process. If you are looking for a substantial amount of change in your life, you need to be focusing on firing and wiring. Now, firing and wiring, what does that mean? This means listening to subliminal audios for 30 days at the very minimum, 30 days straight consistently, like at least once a day. So for about a month, you'll need to listen for once a day. This will give your brain enough time so that not only will your targeted neural pathways fire, but it will give them enough time to actually reconstruct and rewire so that permanent pathways can be made and that permanent changes, behavioral changes can take place. Again, research shows that in order for lasting effects to take place, you will need to have consistent exposure to the audio for at least 30 days. Now, this is probably where you're going wrong. A lot of people will pick up like a subliminal and listen to it one time and think that literally everything they ever dreamed of will happen to them right then in that moment. And that's not the case. No, nope. And I was one of those people, so I don't want to hear any judgment in the comments. I don't. Or on the other hand, they'll like play like an audio for like a week and then be done with it and expect change to happen. You didn't give yourself enough time in order for, all the reconstruction to take place. So, no, that's not it either. With subliminals, and I can't stress this enough, it's just going to be said over and over in this video. With subliminals, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. So, like, we're talking like every day, literally every day, but limit also your exposure to different subliminals so that the affirmations are as consistent as possible, so that your brain can receive them in the correct manner. So I'm talking like 1 to 2 subliminals at the very least for a month every day. Those are the numbers that we're working with here. Now, if I'm doing 2 subliminals for a month, I will play them at different times a day. I will start with the one that will take like less energy, like something that I'm more open to receiving, and I will do that in the morning or like when I'm focusing on like doing work or something like that. I'll do it during those times where my brain is a little bit more active and, trying to like do things, but I can bring it back down to theta and like actually like zone in. I'll use it during that times. But the second one would be the one I use at night. Is the one that I would use if I was having a little bit trouble accepting that as my truth, as my reality. And I would use that either before I go to sleep or while I'm sleeping. And again, this is completely up to you, whatever you like feel like you're up to perceiving at the time. Pick which other time of day works for you and where you feel like will benefit you most. But that's just typically what I would do to break up the 2 subliminals so that I can stay consistent, but also like use them at different times. Now, here's why I make subliminal audios. I find it better on my mind if I know exactly what type of affirmations I'm putting into my brain. I find that I have a better time accepting the subliminal in the first place if I know that it's safe and ethically made. And so that's pretty much why I make them. I know exactly what affirmations I'm using, so I know what results I am getting. And also, I am fully transparent within my process of like posting them and having other people listen to my audios. So I will actually post a sample in the description of the video of what affirmations I'm using. And on top of that, anyone who wants a full list of affirmations can get the list directly from me. I don't gatekeep that. You just have to ask for it. And so I have that level of transparency, and that makes me feel safe. So that's why I make them, but also that's why I seek out creators that have that same level of transparency with me. Oh, as me, excuse me. So that I know that it's actually being ethically made, and I can trust them more and be more accepting of the audio itself. I will even go as far as sending people like the original like audio message that I make before I edit it, like all the music and stuff into it, just so people know that I'm like not putting anything that shouldn't be into it. Like all of the affirmations are targeted to be specific, like topic. So everything is definitely ethical. Everything that's supposed to be in it is in it. And that makes people more comfortable with my audio. So I'm very, very proud of that fact. So not only are my subliminals ethically made, but they do have boosters in them so that they are targeting the right area of the brain, so that change can happen, like actual results that you're like looking for can actually take place. So I use pure tone frequencies to like tune into that part of the brain that I'm trying to target. And I also use like brown noise or pink noise sometimes, to really get in there and like bring the brain down, to a lower frequency. It just means that your brain's getting like sleep. It's like going into like a sleep state or like a focus state. So that's what we mean by like theta waves, bringing your brain back into theta so that you are more receptible of receiving that change. But not only that, I use my own voice. A lot of people do robo affirmations, and I'm like, fine, that's cool, whatever. But I personally believe that having like using your own voice, using a human voice in your affirmations is so much more powerful, because not only do you have like the like impact of another human telling you something in your own language, but you also have the impact of their emotion, their power behind that. And if you know anything about feeling is the number one thing with manifestation. So it's always, always, always nice to hear that firmness and that like true belief behind the affirmations when they're being said. So that's why I personally use my own voice when I'm creating subliminal audios. Basically, I make my own subliminals so that I can ensure safety, efficiency, and just overall ethics within the manifestation law of assumption, law of attraction community. I know like it's really hard to trust people here because a lot of people make up their results. A lot of people just spew bullshit all the time. But I'm not one of those people. All of my results are real, and everything that I say has like been from experience, like learned from my mistakes type thing. Like I've actually gotten exactly what I wanted. And so that's why I make all these videos, but also subliminals as well, so that I can ensure that at least some of the content being pushed out in this community is actually real and safe and legit. So yeah, that's why I make subliminals. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and comment in the comment area what your favorite way of using subliminals is. I don't know if that's the correct way to phrase that. What's your favorite way of using subliminals? That's what I want you to comment. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be down in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Bye.